Now, I'm not just going to tell you the story about the poem because maybe this is already taught in the class. Okay. But I just want to have a total thorough discussion on the kind of the poem, not only of what the poem is like this. Actually, after romantic poetry, we get into Victorian poetry. Victorian poetry means major two poets are Alfred Tennyson and Robert Browning. Okay. Now, Tennyson is idealistic. Tennyson is melodious. Okay. Tennyson's poetry gives a very idealistic, calm, and quiet picture of English life and manners. So every tendency of the age is clearly manifest in the poetry of Lord Alfred Tennyson. The English countryside, the calm and quiet nature, okay, beautiful melodious kind of poetry we come across in Tennyson's works. And also the Victorian idealism, okay, the, in the Victorian period, the British Empire was at the peak of the world. And there was a famous, kind of slogan that the sun never sets in the British Empire. That means the British colonial empire was spread on such a vast period of the world that if there is sunset in one part of the British Empire, there is sunrise in the other part. So this was the period. In the Victorian period, British colonialism reached its highest altitude, naval expeditions, science and technology. So in every field of knowledge, in literature, in commerce, in technology, in science, every field of human thought and activity, British Empire reached its peak. So this picture, the spirit of adventure, okay, the spirit of adventure, the spirit of inquiry. At the same time, you also know that the famous inventions, discoveries of Darwin, right? The origin of the species. It came out in the Victorian. So Victorian period, one such period when there was tremendous progress in the field of science and technology, literature, art and commerce. But at the same time, there was, there was some retrograde, backward progress or backward kind of, or what is called backfire in the field of religion, because there was a constant conflict between religion, between faith and science, religion and science. So this contradictory aspect, this conflict is also found in the poetry of Lord Alfred Tennyson. But overall, Tennyson is very calm and quiet. He's very, very melodious, very much like our Bengali poet Satyendranath Datta. Okay. And some part of romanticism also was there in the poetry of Tennyson. But what about the other poet, Robert Browning? He was very much like an analytical chemist. I repeat, analytical chemist of the human mind. His focus was on the human mind, human psychology. Understand? He was interested only in the human mind. That's why in his poetry we get the picture of the development of the mind, of psychology. And he himself termed his poetry as studies. If you are with pen and paper, always sit with pen and paper. Write down. If you are with pen and paper, write down. Studies in the development of the soul. Right? You have not, pen and paper. Hello.
Study, study,
In the development of the soul. Write down.
study the
Studies,
development.
studies, studies in the development of the soul, S-O-U-L. From his own description, we come
Studies in the development of
the soul, S-O-U-L. studies in the development of the soul.
Let's go US. Okay.
Was interested in was the human soul, the human psyche, human psychology, the eddies and turns and twists of the human mind. Because at that time, you know, in the Victorian period, there was the discoveries of the psychoanalysis. Okay, you have heard the names of Freud and Jung. Freud, he was the father. He was the father of psychoanalysis. Okay, the theory of the unconscious. So see, the very character of the age, it was an age of so much diverse and different kinds of inputs, human science and human arts and human technology. Okay, so theory of the unconscious, Jung's, Freud's. So in that age, that aspect of man, the human mind, it got perfectly reflected in the poetry of Robert Brown. So there lies the difference between Tennyson and Browning, and one critic has beautifully described the difference. What is that? He says that if Tennyson is the flowing fountain, flowing brook, Browning is the craggy steps of the mountain. That means Browning's poetry deals with the human. So the human mind is easy kind of to explore. It is very much like the craggy steps of a mountain. It's very difficult to trek that. So in Browning's poetry, we come across the detailed picture of particular character, the human mind, and how it reacts in moments of crisis. A particular mind, a particular person, and his mind is focused in the point of a crisis and how he reacts. Yes? Can you hear me? Is it clear?
Record không tôi đang nó record đây.
Hello.
Space như này.
We can hear you, sir.
Nó record có lên không thì anh thấy nó.
Okay. Now we can begin the text. For example, in the very beginning of the poem, you see the description of with you, Porphyria's lover. You have the text with you. Hello.
Yeah, hear you, but some are making noises.
You have the text with you. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you have the text with you. Text.
No, sir.
Why not? Why not? I told you to sit with the text. Henceforth, in our next, you have to sit with the text. Remember? You have to sit with the text. Otherwise, I cannot take classes.
We don't have.
No, speak in English. It's not like taking formal.
Huh?
You have to.
Please mute yourself. Hello, guys.
Hello, you have the text with you. Text. You don't have the text with you. Hello, answer me. Hello.
Yeah, me too, sir. I don't have textbook.
Don't you have the text with you? Text.
No, sir. Just only copy.
No, sir. We don't have book.
Why not? You should collect books. Without books, how can you proceed?
We
Sir,
don't get time to go, buy this book only, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Today, nothing to, I have to carry on like that. Okay. In the very beginning of the poem, you get the description of nature. Now, in Browning's poetry, nature is not only the sequence of sights and sounds and colors. Okay, it's a background of the human emotions. So in Porphyria's Lover, we get the history of a sexual murder. Porphyria is the name of a lady, and the poem deals with what her lover does. So the poem tells us the story of a sexual kind of murder. So there is in the very beginning of the poem, there is a description of nature, and I read. You just listen. Since you do not have the text, you have to listen carefully, attentively. The rain set in early tonight. The sullen wind was soon awake, means there is tremendous rain, and one man is sitting lonely in a cottage, and he was waiting for his beloved Porphyria, and outside it was rain, there was storm. He tore the empty. Hello, what are you doing? You are not listening, it seems. Any problem? Can you hear me clearly? Tell me. Hello?
We can hear you, sir.
Okay. Listen. So there, in the very beginning, there is a description of outside nature. It was raining, and there was a huge storm, and the treetops were breaking. Now, this description of the storm breaking the treetops, it brings out a picture of a very cruel and malicious kind of nature. Actually, it reflects the state of the mind of the lover who is sitting lonely in the cottage. I listened with a heart fit to break. Means his heart was almost breaking. Why? Out of his despair for losing Porphyria. Maybe that was the night of Porphyria's marriage. So man was totally depressed that Porphyria has gone out of his life. And out of his despair and frustration, he was sitting lonely beside his wife. At that time, what happened? When glided in Porphyria. At that time, Porphyria came in, straight. She shut the cold out and the storm. She shut the door of the cottage and windows. She also shut the windows. So naturally, the storm and the strong gust of wind, it were blocked. Blaze up and kneeled and made the cheerless great blaze up. Great means fireplace. The fireplace. The fire in the fireplace was almost dying out due to the sparkles of rain and cold waves of wind. Now, this was rekindled. The fire was again burning. This fire is a symbol of the human passion. So, in Browning's poetry, what is important is the moment, the instant. The moment becomes a monument in the life of a character. That is the soul and substance of the poetry of Robert Browning. Follow? You can understand. The moment. In Browning's poetry, what we come across is the poetic catching of a moment of crisis. A moment of crisis in the life of a character, and how he reacts to that moment, that constitutes the entire story in the book. Got it? In Porphyria's lover also, we see the moment. What kind of moment? That Porphyria is coming, okay, and what is its implication upon the mind of the lover, and how he reacts. As per Newton's third law, we know that in every action there is an equal reaction. So there is action, okay, the conflict and the reaction on the part of the character. That constitutes the story in Browning's poetry. সবাই শুনতে পাচ্ছ? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
বুঝতে পারছো তো?
Hear you, sir.
বুঝতে পারছো? বুঝতে পারছো কথাগুলো? হ্যালো?
No, no.
বুঝতে পারছো তো? Understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I can carry on. And there is a description of the activities of Porphyria. And he just rakes the fire in the fireplace and goes from her form means body, withdraw the dripping cloak and shawl. That is, it was raining. He was totally drenched. He was putting off her clothes. Just imagine the scene. Okay. The scene, the moment, the situation. Browning's poetry is known as situational poetry. It always deals with a particular situation. And how a poet, how a character reacts to that particular situation. Right? Okay, and laid her soiled gloves by, untied her hat, and let the damp hair fall, and last he sat down by my side and called me. Note one thing, that this is the first time after say 8 lines or so we can see so this is poetry, but it looks like prose. It looks like a statement. These are the specialties of the poetry of Robert Browning. When no voice replied means not the expression when no voice replied. Indirect statement. Actual meaning is that when I did not reply. When I did not reply or when my voice did not reply. Instead of that, the poet here uses passive voice. That is roundabout statement. When no voice reply means this statement is essentially dramatic, objective, indirect statement. This is a characteristics of Robert Browning's poetry. Or again, first of all, dramatic. Browning's poetry is thoroughly dramatic. Okay, objective, no subjectivism is there, not telling his personal tale. So the poetry of Robert Browning is always dramatic, action. Dramatic means action. Okay, if I say that in the lockdown, okay, I will give you some idea of what is dramatic and what is prosaic. If I say during the lockdown, okay, there was some destructive activities by the uh, common people. One statement. And if I say that out of anger and frustration, okay, some common people burnt a jeep or set a truck on fire in Agartala. So the second sentence is dramatic because it contains an element of action. To understand what is dramatic and what is plain prosaic statement. Okay, if I say there was huge destructive activities, this is only statement. But if I say that people have burnt out a jeep and a bus, it is a dramatic statement because in this statement there is an element of action. So in Robert Browning's poetry, we come across what is that? Action, dramatic. This sentence is example of dramatic. When no voice replied means roundabout statement. Means when I did not reply. Porphyria has come, she has sat by my side, she has undressed her wet, okay, W-E-T, clothes. She has rekindled the fire, dying fire in the fireplace. She had embraced me and she has spoken out her love for me. What is interesting to note is that this man was intensely waiting for all this. And all this, what he is actually intended, is going to happen. But he is not a normal human being. Because in the cases of normal human beings, we get normal reactions. But in cases of abnormal human beings, the reaction becomes abnormal. Okay, you understand? Any problem? Martha, any problem? I can see your name here. That's why I call you by. Any problem? You can understand?
Yes.
Network not good.
Okay. So this is the situation. And this is also Browning's specialty because because you know what he tries to do is to focus a particular situation, and that's why the statement also becomes dramatic. You understand? You can see the first full stop comes almost after 8 lines. Something unusual in poetry, isn't it? Normally in poetry we find the usual plain rhythm is there, heroic up, okay? And the full stop comes in the second line. But here it is, the case is different. Full stop comes after almost 8 lines. Okay, and there is the description of what Porphyria is doing, and ultimately we will see what the man is doing. That constitutes the very nucleus of the story. He murders Porphyria.
Love them.
And here he ironically recounts the steps leading to murder of Porphyria. Murder. Okay. Just I will read out because I think you know the story. Was it done in the class? Hello? Was it done in the class?
Video offering.
You are not sure. Okay. See, murmuring weak means Porphyria has come such a long distance. Okay, in this foul weather. So naturally, she is very weak with physical exertion and also emotions. She is very weak. And for all her heart's endeavor to
Yeah.
struggling passions free. She is full with passions of love. She wants to make herself free of the struggle. She wants to pick out her passion of love for this man. From pride and self-defense. Maybe this was the night of Porphyria's marriage. So she belonged to some, wealthy family. She had a pride of such social dignity and prestige, but she sacrificed all this only for this man. Understand? So what was going on? What kind of conflict was going on within her bosom? At the one end, there is passion of love, and on the other hand, there is the call of social dignity and pride and others. So she choose the first. She prioritized her love, and she sacrificed everything, all the bonds of connection, all the nets of attachment like family, social prestige, marriage, and other. And she has left everything to come and join this man. And gave herself to me forever. Passion sometimes should prevail, nor could tonight's gay feast. Means that night was the night of feast, maybe the marriage feast. Yes, because it's a poem. It's a big statement. Okay. Nor thought of one so pale a sudden
in the brass, the Mimas and the imagery, form says me.
Nor could two nights give his
Yeah.
restraint, sudden thought of what.
Not imagine,
Don't talk, don't talk.
form six.
Hello, don't talk.
Kata, I can assume here. Six one.
Okay. So she thought of, he left everything and come to her, come to him. And all in vain. So she was come through wind and rain. So her passion of love was so, so powerful that she sacrificed all her family, her social prestige, her bonds of connection, her need of attachment in the name of marriage. She left everything only for the love. So she was come. Be sure. Now this poem is a dramatic monologue. Dramatic monologue means, you know what is soliloquy, monologue, okay? The person speaking to himself. So in soliloquy, for example, in Macbeth, you have read the tragedy. In soliloquy, nobody is supposed to hear what you are speaking to yourself. But in dramatic monologue, we see the presence, we guess the presence of a silent listener. Silent or a passive listener, whose very silent reactions, his facial gestures, his body language, it determines the speech of the. This year, I looked up at her eyes, happy and proud. This man became sure, and he tells the silent, passive listener that you be sure I looked into the eyes of Porphyria and found her happy and proud. Why? Happy that she has ultimately managed to come to surrender herself to her lover. And she is proud that her love is going to be fulfilled. She has sacrificed everything, she has divested all her nets of attachment only to surrender herself completely to her lover. And see, any normal human being would have been happy, more than happy, that the lady love has come to surrender. But this man is not normal. Now, this poem gives us a study in the abnormal psychology of man. Remember, the subject of this poem is the abnormal psychology of man. Abnormal means not normal. Okay, not normal, mad, almost mad. The subject is almost veering to madness. This lover is almost mad. Okay, it's abnormal. So he should, any normal human being should have been happy that Porphyria has come. Okay, I am happy. She loves me, she has come. But this man, he has something, he does not know what he is thinking about. He is not sure of what he is going to do. Now, all these are the signs of some abnormalcy of human psychology, some abnormal mind. Okay, so see, initially he also loves. He also finds himself to be very proud and happy, and he makes love with this lady. There may be some sort of sexual kind of activity also, but after that, immediately he is gripped by the fear of losing Porphyria. See how dramatically Browning has presented the crisis in the situation of crisis. This is the specialty of Robert Browning. Okay. So immediately after the big goal of love is over, this man is being gripped by some fear. Fear of what? Fear of losing. Love is always associated with the fear of loss. Am I right or wrong? If I love somebody, at the same time, I also have some fear that I may lose her. Okay. This is common feature of the human. This man does what? I will tell you. At last I knew Porphyria worshipped me. This man became very much proud that this lady, Porphyria, who has left so many things in her life for me, she not only loves me, she practically worships me. She holds me in the status of a god. In otherwise, she would not have been made such a huge, such a big sacrifice. So this kind of discovery, this sudden discovery of the unusual, okay, kind of great kind of love that Porphyria has, this leads to some unexpected reactions on the part of the that he is not a normal human being comes out here to and what he wanted to do is to eternalize the moment, made this moment monumental, made this moment eternal. How to do that? Just to kill, just by killing Porphyria. Why? His logic is peculiar, the peculiar logic of an abnormal man, that I wanted to make Porphyria's love permanent. That's why I killed her. I looked up at her eyes, happy and proud. At last I knew me. Surprise made my heart swell. Means a sudden stroke of surprise was filling my heart. Now heart is filled up over its limit. Then what happened? There is an outburst. If you pour water into a glass, it is full to the brim, and then again you pour some water on it. What will happen? Water will spill out, water will spill out. There will be an overflow of passion. That is exactly what is happening in the case of the lover. For instance, he wanted to make the moment eternal. How? By killing Porphyria. Porphyria does not have the chance to make her to kill her wife in future. See, the peculiar kind of logic. Here it says, with my heart full, while I debated what, this is the very phrase. He was debating, he was thinking out what to do. Means he was suffering from indecision. He was not being able to decide what to do. So what he did is, the moment she was mine, this moment is mine. There is no doubt. There is no uncertainty. Porphyria is mine. I became over sanguine. Perfect, pure and good. I found a thing to do, and all her hair in one long, 3 times her little throat around. After making love, maybe some kind of sexual making, the lover was golden hair of Porphyria. Okay. Absent-minded, he was twisting it into the form of a rope, round it, okay, wound it around the neck of Porphyria 3 times, made it a rope and strangled her. That is, she suffocated, she stifled Porphyria to death. What a dramatic climax. What a dramatic kind of climax. And this man is abnormal again. It's clear from his next speech. No pain felt seen. Means the death was granted so accidentally, so instantly, that Porphyria did not find the time to feel pain of death. Peculiar logic. Peculiar man, peculiar lover, peculiar logic. What is the message here? That love may be good, but over obsessive love leads to madness. That is what is exactly happening in the case of Porphyria's. I am quite sure she felt no pain as a sad bird that holds a baby only after leads. Means immediately after being killed, the eyelids closed. Okay. And this man nervously opens the lids of the Porphyria's eyes. It again closes. Because Porphyria is dead. He is no more. There is no more any life in her. Again loved the blue eyes without a stain. This man consoles himself that nothing has happened to Porphyria, though he knows that he killed Porphyria. For what? So that this moment of love does not slip out of his hand. This moment Porphyria was mine. She was very much happy and proud for surrendering herself to me. So what I did was to make this moment eternal. That is to kill Porphyria at the height of her love, so that she did not have the chance to experience any kind of stupid thought, despair or something, so that Porphyria did not get the chance to change her mind. That's why she was killed. Peculiar logic. Abnormal. Again, loved the blue eyes without a stain, and I untightened the traces about the neck. Means the trace means here, the hair that was used as a rope in standing Porphyria. It was untightened, one winded up again, and free, but still the head is on the shoulder of the knife because Porphyria is dead. He is sitting here, but only head is thinking upon the mind, shoulder. Her cheek was more flushed bright beneath my burning kiss. See, what kind of lover? Okay. He's an ancient man. He's kissing Porphyria, but Porphyria is already dead. I propped her head up as before. I held her head straight, but again it tilted upon my shoulder. Because, come on. Only this time my shoulder bore her head, which droops upon it still. Throughout the night, the man is sitting with dead Porphyria, with her head propped upon the shoulder of the lover. See, just imagine the scene. Because in Browning's poetry, what matters most is the presentation of a situation of a crisis, and the reaction from a particular person. That is what is going on in the mind or the soul of the person. That's why you remember Browning's poetry is studies in the development of the soul, whatever you have written. Okay. The smiling rosy little head, so glad it has its utmost will that all is const at once is played, and I gained instead. Porphyria is dead, but I am gained. It's peculiar logic. I am profited. Profited with what? The unconditioned love of Porphyria, who did not have any chance. That was. She guessed not how her darling one wish would be heard. Means maybe the speaker's devilish logic is that Porphyria wanted to be mine forever, so I granted her prayer by killing her at the peak of her pleasure of love. See, this was the devilish logic of the man. She guessed not how her heart, and thus we sit together now and all night alone. And yet God has not said. The lover is not sure whether he has committed a crime because he says that God has not given his approval or disapproval of my action. I have murdered Porphyria. It is not a sin. I only granted her prayer. Prayer for what? Prayer for surrendering herself for love. So that's all about Porphyria's lover. Thank you, but I get enough kind of feedback. Okay, you can give your feedback in the group. Okay. You can make it. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the class? Hello? Did you enjoy the class?
The picture of the time. Yeah. 7 the time.
Hello? Did you enjoy the class? Did you understand the poem? Let me know.
Yeah. Chú Giang không làm luôn. Ông nghe là
Hello?
yêu PC.
Did you enjoy the class? Hello, did you enjoy the class? Understand? So thank you very much. You will in the WhatsApp.
Trong record xong.
And next day positively come with the text.
Yeah.
I will tell you earlier what text you have to keep with you so that I can take class. You can hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you understand the poem? Did you like it?
Yes, but due to network, sir, can't understand properly.
Disturbance in the numbers, I understand. But if you have any query, just please let me know. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But next
Okay, sir. Yes.
positively you have to sit with the text. I will give you. I will tell you earlier what text you have to
Okay.
give in the city, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Này.